Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about a watch from a brand that I haven't really featured much on this channel. But as you know from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the Panerai Submersible, specifically the reference 00683. Before I continue, I'm going to do my customary timepiece check. And today I'm wearing my Boss Aeroliner. I would just like to say a huge thank you for everyone that's been supporting my channel and subscribing and also liking my videos. In fact, the comments you've given me as well have been really fantastic recently and a huge source of inspiration. The reason I'm recording this video today is because of a comment I received from a watcher of the channel called Mac Daddy, and he said words to the effect of he sold his Rolex Submariner to buy one of these Panerai Submersibles. So that immediately got me thinking, let's have a bit more of an in-depth look at this watch, because to be honest with you, I've been wanting to review Panerai and one of the watches from this particular brand for a very long time. So just before we take a closer look at the Panerai Submersible itself, I just want to quickly run through some of the interesting facts in Panerai's history. The first thing to note is that Panerai started in 1860 when Giovanni Panerai opened his first shop in Florence, Italy. But more interestingly, and slightly to my surprise, was the rich dive history that I discovered Panerai has. Back in 1935, Panerai created the Radomir dive watch, reference 2533, which was created from a Rolex base, which was then modified by Panerai to meet the requirements of none other than the Italian Royal Navy, who were looking for high-strength dive pieces for their underwater program. Moving on to the 1940s, the 3646 reference was developed with really large numerals at 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock. This was so the watch could be more legible when diving underwater. And in 1949, the Lumninor was launched, which followed this development and is possibly the watch most associated with the Panerai brand. Fast forwarding to 2002, Panerai opened their first manufacturing plant in Switzerland, combining brilliant design know-how with sought-after Swiss watchmaking. This was closely followed in 2005 with Panerai's first Swiss-made in-house movement, the P2002. Moving on to the watch itself, I featured the 00683 reference as it appeared to be the most common model with a ceramic bezel when searching Chrono24. The first thing I noticed was the interesting shape of the 42mm case. It initially reminded me of the Omega prop cloth, with the perfectly round ceramic bezel surrounded by the angular proportions of the brushed steel case. Just like the prop cloth, it's also got a big crown guard on the side of the watch. The dial itself has a black base, and at 12 o'clock has two longish lume bars that appear to be surrounded by white gold. It also has one long bar at 6. The lume circles in between are interrupted at 3 o'clock by a date window and at 9 o'clock by a sub-dial with the small seconds. As you might expect for a dive watch, legibility is key, and the hours, minutes and seconds hands are all laced with lume. This makes for a startling contrast to the black base, and it's finished off perfectly with sapphire crystal glass. The brushed steel case is secured with a brushed steel case back which is screwed down in order to help maintain its 300-meter water resistance. But here I talk about one of the features that I particularly liked about the watch, and that was its ceramic bezel. I really appreciated the textured nature of this bezel, with its still minute reference points at 15, 30 and 45 minutes, almost popping out the bezel along with the small steel circles in between. And as with all dive watches worth their salt, the 15-minute indicator is a welcome detail. The Panerai Submersible, reference 00683, comes with a rubber strap, but it also appears that this model comes with a polished steel bracelet, which I think is essential. I'm going to mention a few words on the movement itself, and this particular model comes with the P900 caliber movement. This movement has 23 joules and additionally provides 28,800 alternations in an hour. This means that the balance wheel gives a push to the watch hands around 8 times a second. The transitions therefore between the minutes and hours in this watch should be very smooth and befitting of a watch of this sort of premium quality. This movement will also give you 3 days power reserve and is of course automatic. So if you wear this for an extended period of time, you won't have to spend much time winding it, as it will wind itself as you wear it. Finally, I'm going to talk about the price of this watch, and at a price of £8,800, this is where I have a slight problem with this timepiece. Despite its brand history and undoubted dive quality, I just feel £8,800 is in excess of the price point that I'd ideally like to pay for the Panerai Submersible. However, on Chrono24, I have found a 2019 model for
£6,504,
which I think is a far more comfortable price point, in my opinion, to hand over for one of these timepieces that has a brilliant brand pedigree but also a rich dive history to speak of. Whilst my favourite timepiece in the Panerai lineup currently remains the Lumninor, the Submersible is certainly an option that I'd highly recommend. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you've liked what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel. I'll see you next time.